because I think he has a chance to push Wemby for Defensive Player of the Year. Like, I think his impact
What? You
could
think
be
he's that good?
Yeah, I do.
We talked about Zion Williamson, but let's talk about another Duke star. You know, obviously, the number 1 overall pick, allegedly, is at Duke. And do you guys know?
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
He's not allegedly at Duke. He's there.
This is not court. You don't need to do that.
No, he's there.
No, he's allegedly the number 1 overall pick.
No, he's not. He is definitively the number 1.
No, he's in the conversation. He's in the conversation.
Is he? He's top 3, top 5, top 10.
He's in the conversation for number 1.
He's going number 1. If he doesn't go number 1, the person who doesn't take him number 1 should be fired and sent to the gulag.
Well, with that being said, Cooper Flagg, it's been a couple things that's happened with Cooper Flagg over the last year, I guess you could say. First off, he leads Duke in all major statistical categories: points, rebounds, assists, steals, blocks, all of that. Shout out to the alleged number 1 overall pick. Also, he
wait, Ron, stop. Wait. I know where you're going, Ron. I want you to stay right there. Don't forget the Duke Blue Devils. I think they're the number 2. They're gonna be a number 2 seed in the tournament, so they're on a damn good team too. So don't leave that part.
Can we also talk about how he allegedly reclassified? Oh, damn. Reclassified.
Well, that's not alleged. He did.
But go ahead, Ron. I'm sorry to interrupt you. Keep going. I don't want to leave that part out.
We're just butchering the word allegedly.
But keep going, Ron.
Yeah,
as you were saying,
OJ Simpson allegedly. My bad.
Oh God.
As you were saying, Ron, I think you were saying something about the ACC and Cooper Flagg. That's where you were.
Well, he is allegedly the best player in the ACC, but he didn't allegedly get the ACC Player of the Year. He is the ACC Player of the Year as a freshman phenom and leading Duke. How do we feel about this?
Can I bet over 7.5 uses of the word allegedly on Player's Choice?
Over 7.5? Yeah.
Hey man, if you let me know you're doing that, I'll make sure you get your money.
Yeah, I'll take that action.
Ron's gonna do it 28 times himself. Don't worry.
Yeah, I'll definitely take that action. Yeah.
I think for lack of a better term, I think Cooper Flagg's the shit. I think that I'm as confident as Cooper Flagg being a stud in the NBA as I've been about any prospect I've watched, and it's because just how multifaceted his impact is. Like, this is a guy that can do everything for you. Rebound, defense, scoring the ball, like playmaking. Like, there are things I think he needs to round out to maximize himself. Like, I think scoring and playmaking is ultimately going to determine his ceiling, but I think he's a high-impact winning player immediately. I also love his work ethic. I think Cooper Flagg's a guy who wants to be great and wants to get better and is self-motivated. But it's an all-around impact from day one. I think this is a guy that could be a star one day, but immediately I think could be a number 2 or a number 3 that connects guys on a really good team depending on where he goes, because there are a lot of interesting teams in the lottery, right? San Antonio, he wouldn't have to be the number 1 immediately if he goes there. He would immediately be number 3 behind Fox and Wemby. Personally, I mean, I think the rich get richer in that scenario, but I love that as a landing spot for Cooper, both long-term and short-term. But whoever's getting this guy is getting a guy who's impactful immediately, but I think long-term could be, you know, I think he could be a top 10 guy. I think Cooper's a stud. And I don't think he's allegedly the number 1 pick. I think it's a no-brainer number 1 pick. I'm on the boat with you guys. If he's not number 1, yeah, I think you gotta shit can the GM.
I'm gonna get roasted for this because you guys are always calling me old and stuff like that because I played against him.
He's gonna compare him to a white guy.
I am. I 100% am. Not only
can I guess where you're gonna go? Can I guess where you're gonna go?
I'm listening.
It's not gonna be Karolinko.
Is it Bobby Jones?
No.
Secretary.
Is Keith Van Horn.
There it is, Mars.
Keith Van Horn. Yeah.
That's who he reminds me of. Like a better athlete. That's who he reminds me of. Yes, that's who he reminds me of.
I'm not gonna lie, Chill. Shout out Keith Van Horn because he can block it. But
he reminds you of a white guy.
Except a better athlete
and a better passer and a better defensive player.
Infinitely better defensive.
But he's white, so hey.
No, it's not just the white thing. No, it's not just the white.
It's like 84% the white.
More like 78%. Mars. How about that? More like 70%.
Can we please name 10 white dudes that Cooper Flagg plays more like than Keith Van Horn? I swear it would take us 12 seconds.
Go.
I mean,
collectively, it would take us 12 seconds.
Go.
Andre
Karolinko is the one you go to.
100%. Bobby Jones is 2.
Bobby Jones
definitely.
We had about 10 seconds.
You putting pressure on me to name white people. Oh no.
Come on.
I'm saying more like
Well, he's
Tyler
more.
Hansbrough. There you go. There's
No way. No way.
He's
No.
closer.
Hell no.
He's more Gordon Hayward
I'm not gonna lie.
than Keith Van Horn.
Yeah, there's just not a lot
I can see
of
the
white
Gordon Hayward.
athletes like
I can see
Cooper
the Gordon
Flagg is the
Hayward. I
thing.
think this.
He's like Gordon Hayward if you made him a top tier athlete and defender.
I think
bigger.
PC should be
Gordon
progressive.
Hayward used to be getting to that rim.
Listen,
Yeah, he's a
personally,
good athlete.
personally, I'm really
Not
sick
Cooper
of
Flagg.
hearing Cooper Flagg compared to white dudes. I really hate it.
I think
Actually,
he's
I genuinely hate that like entire thing. And if you listen to the president, general manager of the Philadelphia 76ers, he has a rule in his scouting practices. You don't get to compare players of the same ethnicity. If you're doing player comparisons, you have to compare
Well,
across.
that's a bit unfair for the black players.
Yeah, they just all getting compared to Keith Van Horn.
Yeah,
Every one of
I'm
them.
like, hey,
Okay,
hey, you a black player? Hey, Larry Bird. I don't know. Go be Larry. Like, damn,
That's a good comparison.
Right.
It turns out he's dunking over 4 people. Hey, Larry Bird.
I hate to step in and interrupt this intense yap session that you're currently watching, but I just have to inform you on all the amazing, spectacular, fabulous, endless ways to play and win over at PrizePicks. Basketball fans, I know the season is just tipping off. Yes, I know this. But you know what that means? It means that you have an opportunity to pick your favorite players and their matchups that are the most thrilling, and you can win money from these. With PrizePicks, you can play daily NBA contests and test your hoop knowledge by choosing the player projections and every single stat line imaginable to make your prize picks and take home some nice hard-earned cash. Are you a rookie in the game? Don't even sweat it. I got the playbook for you right here. All you have to do is download PrizePicks, use promo code PANEL, and you will get $50 instantly when you play 5 here with PrizePicks. So what are you waiting for? Download PrizePicks, use promo code PANEL, and join me as we break down all of our amazing daily picks right here on the panel. PrizePicks. Run your game, control your game, win your game. It's easy, baby. It's easy.
But for real, like if you're not comparing him to Andre Kirilenko, which I think is stupid, honestly, and you're not comparing him to Bobby Jones, which I think is
I could see Bobby Jones. I could see Bobby Jones.
I'm glad you see the vision now.
I do. I
You
see Bobby Jones.
you didn't 2 minutes ago when you compared him to Keith Van Horn, but okay.
No. I see the reason why I see Bobby Jones is because I see the athleticism. That's what I see more than anything. I see the athleticism, and I do see that. But just so you guys know, and I'm saying this from somebody who was on the floor with him. Keith Van Horn is a lot better athlete than you give him credit for.
Yeah, Keith Van Horn was.
He was in the pick in the NBA draft.
And on top of that, he was every bit of 6'10". There was nothing 6'8" or 6'9" about him. He's every bit of 6'10", every bit of it. Ridiculous athlete, can knock down the three. Not only can knock down the three, he could pass, and he was a little bit older. I mean, he played 4 years at Utah, but that's when I watch Cooper Flagg, I do get Keith. I'm not saying that he is Keith Van Horn. He just gives me Keith Van Horn vibes. That's where I'm at.
He's more Scotty.
If he was black, would he give you Keith Van Horn vibes?
Well, it's funny you said that, Carson, because I was gonna mention Seth Greenberg's comparisons for Cooper Flagg. And he said, I think Jason Tatum.
Yes, that was who I was
He
gonna
said,
say.
I think Grant Hill, and I think Scottie Pippen. It doesn't get more black than that.
Wow.
How do y'all feel about that?
They are all more
Kevin Garnett, Kawhi Leonard. This is the correct, accurate.
I don't see Kawhi.
No. I love Grant Hill and I love Scotty. And the reason for that is I think what Cooper does at an A+ level is all of the connective and winning stuff in his versatility. Like, this is a guy who defensively, I do think really does resemble like an AK-47 type. When you're talking about that sort of multi-positional versatility, can guard on the perimeter and is an elite rim protecting wing and a really good rebounding wing. That's what he can be defensively. And then offensively, I've been even more impressed by Cooper's on-ball juice than I thought I would be coming out of high school. I think he's developed there. I think the shot has been more consistent than it was in high school. And like, he's been a 90th percentile pick and roll creator. Like, he can really run offense for you, but he's also got this incredible feel and he's a freak athlete. So as a cutter, he is a monster. He can dissect defenses from so many different spots on the floor with his playmaking. That's Grant Hill. That's Scottie Pippen. That versatility to be a point forward for you offensively, to guard multiple positions defensively. Might not be that he gives you 27 every night, but he's going to give you 23, 7, and 7 with 4 stocks and elite defense and really good efficiency and can play on and off the ball. So I actually love those comparisons. And I think Cooper Flagg is as sure of a thing to be a star as any prospect not named Victor Wembanyama in the 2020s. Like, I was extremely high on Chet. I put Flagg right there with him as a prospect, as the second best dude of the 2020s.
I just love his aggressiveness as a scorer more than anything. Like, he really has that attitude that it's not one of you dudes out here who can stay in front of me. And I think that translates over to the pro game, considering how the pro game is matched up. There's way more space. There's a lot more one-on-one. And, you know, sure, at the wing position, you have to defend. What is he, 6'9", 6'10", legit? And he can stretch the defense. I love everything about his confidence. Yeah, this dude's going to be a player in the league. No doubt about that.
I just have a hard time comparing him to any player whose number one calling card isn't defense. Because I think he has a chance to push Wemby for Defensive Player of the Year. Like, I think his impact could be
that good.
Yeah, I do. I think his motor defensively should not be understated. Like the number of second attempts, third attempts this guy can make, his athleticism, his jump, just how quickly he gets up, how quickly he gets up again, you know, and that intelligence is such a huge part of defense as well, like court mapping and just sort of understanding angles. And I think when you consider how, like, and the reason I brought up the reclassification thing is because, like, you have to understand at some point this guy is going to catch up to the people around him, right? Right now, he's playing catch up. He's 17, 18 years old, playing against 22-year-olds. That is a huge gap in basketball experience, right? What happens when he's 23 playing against 23-year-olds and 22-year-olds and 21-year-olds in the NBA, right? If the league is getting younger, right? So we're not necessarily having, you know, the grown men's league of, like, you know, we're having like 38-year-olds and 37-year-olds running the league that much. So at some point, I do think, like, he's going to be stronger than everyone around him, and he's going to be bigger than everyone around him, and he's not going to be 5 years younger than everyone around him, at which point he'll also have, like, all that help, and he'll be able to hone in on what he does best, right? And while I do think that the offensive upside is there and it exists for him to be a 22 point per game scorer and a decent catch and shoot, you know, player and a decent connective passer, I think his abilities defensively to be like an anchor and to do some of that Giannis stuff, maybe to do some of that KG stuff defensively, I really think he could hold down a defense. I think he could be a defensive player of the year. I think he'd be a 10-time first team all defense type of guy.
Wow, that's Bobby Jones right there. Holy shit. Because what yeah, that's what I'm thinking about. I mean, because I'm trying to figure out, when Evan Mobley came out, that's what I said when I saw Evan Mobley coming out of college. I was like, this dude is going to be awesome on defense. I loved his switchability. I loved how he slid his feet. I love his hands, how busy his hands are. And not just him being a rim protector, him being a roamer and being able to rebound while roaming. I'm like, this guy's going to be elite on defense. Maybe I'm not watching Cooper Flagg enough as a defender, because I watch him. I watch him as I watch him as an offensive player, and I watch him as a rebounder, and I think he's really good as a rebounder. But Penn, when you're talking about a guy being elite as a defender, I have to understand defense. I got to read defense. I got to understand coverages, and to be all-time great, that stuff has to come quick. Is Cooper Flagg a quick study to you? Is he somebody that's going to pick it up quickly? Or is this something that's going to be over time? Because when I watch Wemby, for example,
I think he already gets it.
Really quickly. Wemby, for example, I feel like Wemby was the big kid in the sandbox with all the small kids. That's what I feel like with Wemby. With other players, it comes to a point where, you know, you're picking it up really quickly and you become a great defensive player. Wemby, on the other hand, I'm just a bigger guy than everybody else. So my window to pick it up as quickly as everybody else is a lot larger than other guys like Cooper Flagg, where, you know, I'm going to have to be more versatile at 6'9", 6'10" to cover different guys. I'm going to have to understand switching and coverages more, because I'm going to get, especially as a rookie, I'm going to get mismatch hunted. So when you talk about him being an all-time great, that means that stuff that you're talking about, I got to pick that up right now. And at 17, 18 years old, whoa, I think you're asking a lot, man.
Can I give you guys one crazy stat about Flagg's defense real quick? this is over a small sample size. This isn't what I even think he does at the highest level defensively. But when players isolate Cooper Flagg, they're shooting 28% from the
So when we go after him, we go after Cooper Flagg.
Can't score.
Almost three out of every 4 times, we're not coming up with anything.
And that's not even factoring in the fact that I think what he is most valuable with defensively is his ability to be that interior presence, that secondary rim protector as a forward. Go ahead, Pat.
Now, and I'm glad you brought that up, Carson, because at the pro level, that's going to happen way more than it does in college. Way more. So, that 28% going up against college guys as opposed to in the pros, 1, getting hunted more, 2, going against better players, 3, in different offenses where you're going to have different reads. I think that's going to look a lot different.
I just want to point out the fact that these are the names that we just put Cooper Flagg's name next to. Jason Tatum, Scottie Pippen, Grant Hill, Kevin Garnett, Keith Van Horn. Did I miss any names? Relevant names?
Bobby Jones.
Tyler Hansborough.
Shout out Psycho T.
Duncan Robinson.
Yeah.
And potentially can combat Wemby for Defensive Player of the Year. All I'm gonna say is sometime during the summer, after Cooper Flagg does become the number 1 overall pick, Penn, Cars, Low, I need you guys to come back up here. When we rank the top 25, the last 25 first-round picks, and I just can't wait to see first overall picks. And I can't wait to see where Cooper Flagg lies. I just can't wait to see where Cooper lies in the realm of all the top 25 or top.
But is it going to be
picks.
ranking them at the time they were drafted or what?
Yeah. No.
I'll tell you right now, he's number 4. LeBron, Wemby, Zion, Cooper. There you go. So we don't need to wait 4 months.
Give me Anthony Davis, man.
Yeah,
give me Anthony Davis.
Okay, there's a debate for Anthony Davis.
Wait, are we doing since 2000? Yao Ming.
As a prospect, I think Flagg's better, but I think AD is definitely in that top 5.
I just wanted to add real quick, OG, you were talking about Cooper being ready day 1. I mean, I think that's the biggest selling point on him, right? The guys I would point to that have comparable defensive instincts, and they're obviously in different realm, like different archetypes as players, but like how ready Mobley was, the defensive instincts he had, how ready Chet Holmgren was, the defensive instincts he had. I feel the same way about Cooper Flagg, where like you're talking about him learning and ramping up to the NBA level. I don't think it's going to be like you know how like Wemby got adjusted so quickly, like, all right, he struggled like for a month and then it all clicked like rookie year. I don't even know if it's going to take Cooper like that long. Like, I think his instincts are the selling point. Like, he's a freak athlete, but like he's got the brain all ready to go along with it. And that's why I'm ultimately so confident. I don't think he's going to have to like ramp up. I think it's going to be a really easy, it's going to be like a duck to water. I think it's going to be a really easy transition for him.
Would he go over Greg Oden? Can we be for real? Hold on, because I think I might have put my foot in my mouth.
That's a good question.
I think he does. But I wasn't that high on Greg Oden,
though. Oden was a stud prospect.
He had one leg longer than the other. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Mars keeps telling me this. I keep getting this.
I told Mars. Mars tells the whole world. I love it.
He had one leg longer than the other. But Logan, to your point, first and foremost, anybody who knows me knows that I am a stan for guys who get their hands moving, get their feet moving, get their hands busy. I'm up here talking about Bam and Anthony Davis and Mobley. I love those guys. So if you're telling me that this is what I'm looking at in Cooper Flagg, I'm going to get a Cooper Flagg jersey because I'm a huge fan of guys that get their feet moving and get their hands busy. I love that. So if this guy's going to be an elite defender, that's particularly what I'm watching with him. Now,
and yet Scottie Barnes is the 47th best player in the league. Okay,
and you said he's better than LeBron. Realistically, the truth is somewhere in between.
I'm having to balance out the craziness, right? I got to go to the other extreme.
Right. Let's just say the truth is somewhere in the middle.
I was never gonna bring that back up.
I'll never forget it.
I was just gonna let that go.
I sent PC a check to bury that take in the vault. Just retire that take. Yeah,
And
I mean, I got to be
Mars.
honest. I watched LeBron for the last 2 weeks. I stand corrected.
It's okay.
I stand corrected.
It's all right. You can walk stuff back. I've had to walk stuff back before too, so it's all right. But to Mars's point, yeah, he had one leg longer than the other, which I didn't know at the time. But you know what I did know? I'm looking at Patrick Ewing 2.0 in 2007. This is a dude that I'm gonna build my unit around, and we're gonna be in the NBA championship within the next 5 years with this dude. I mean, that's what I thought when I saw him. I did not know he had one leg longer than the other. I didn't.
Oh, so not that good, I guess.
Bruh.
It's the player choice break.